5 years of probation and a $200,000 fine.
But you know what I just heard just now, bro? I just heard a whole bunch of incriminating ass shit, bruh. Alright? I just heard everything I just heard every reason why this man should not be out of jail.
I'm too turned turned up. 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 I'm too turned turned up.
Alright, y'all. Today we're finna watch YoungBoy, the most dangerous plant in the rap game. Okay, video by The Truth Is, man. You know, he makes some really nice open eye videos. You know what I'm saying, bro? Hey, let's see what he's talking about, bro. Is he finna say Henry Chopper was right the whole time?
YoungBoy is the biggest rapper out right now. With his recent tour selling out every show, you can see why I say that. While other rappers are struggling to sell out shows, YoungBoy is doing better than ever. Throughout all his legal troubles and street issues, he has managed to remain untouchable, standing tall as the leader of the new generation. But how exactly did YoungBoy manage to beat all his cases and retain such a die-hard fan base throughout it all? Is it just because of his talent? Are his fans just too loyal? Well, the truth seems to be way more sinister. What if I told you that behind YoungBoy's success lies a dark conspiracy that connects him to powerful secret societies, strange rituals, and even the private prison industry? By the end of this video, you will never see YoungBoy the same again. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos exposing the truth weekly. NBA YoungBoy was born on October 20th, 1999 in the ghettos of Baton Rouge, being raised mainly by his grandmother due to his father serving a 55-year prison sentence for a robbery gone horribly wrong. Growing up, his mother wasn't really in the picture either, leaving YoungBoy to be raised by his grandmother until 2010, when she tragically passed away. He would go on to move back with his mother and later told his mother he wanted to be a rapper and convinced her to let him drop out of school in the 9th grade. YoungBoy would then end up involving himself with the street life. He would start committing petty crimes around the local Baton Rouge area to make money, eventually getting in trouble with the law, being sent to a youth detention facility. When YoungBoy was released from the youth center, he would go on to link with his estranged brother, and together they would start making music. YoungBoy and his brother would end up joining a local street gang called TBG, who would go on to fund his early music career. He would eventually have a problem with a fellow member of the crew who went by the name of G Money and decided to leave the crew and formed his own crew named NBA. This would eventually spark a rivalry between both crews, leading to losses on both sides. As YoungBoy was picking up steam in the music industry, he would go on to get arrested for 2 attempt charges back in 2016. The police were accusing YoungBoy of trying to take out his rivals. As he was fighting those accusations, his crew would continue to release his music, growing his buzz. This would turn out to be the best thing his crew could have done for YoungBoy, as one of those songs they released would turn out to be a hit song. YoungBoy's career took off after releasing his song 38 Baby in 2016 while still in jail. Due to the success of his song, he managed to sign a deal with Atlantic Records. Somehow, YoungBoy also managed to get himself out of any prison time by taking a plea deal which put him on house arrest. Even after he became a famous rapper, he still couldn't stay out of the streets, a habit that has repeatedly ended him up in trouble with the law. YoungBoy has been arrested a total of 7 times since he has been famous. 7 separate arrests, all by the...
How you get arrested 7 times and don't do no time? No, that's some magic. My nigga, yeah, he got some kind of deal going on. How you get arrested 7 different times after you were famous and you do no time? I'm not trying to be a hater. Okay? I'm not saying I'm hating on the nigga, okay? I don't plan on getting arrested 1 time. You know what I'm saying? But how does this happen? You know what I'm saying?
Of 25 years old. Seeing how YoungBoy didn't grow up with his father because he was serving a 55-year prison sentence, you would think YoungBoy would not want to follow in his father's footsteps, especially considering how rich, famous, and successful he has been able to become. None of this stops YoungBoy from getting in trouble, not his father's fate and not even his immense success. What doesn't help YoungBoy's behavior is the fact that he always finds a way to avoid hard prison time. He either beats the case, gets it dismissed, or in the worst case scenario, takes a very favorable plea deal that keeps him from doing hard prison time. YoungBoy's trouble with the law goes all the way back to 2014. In 2014, NBA YoungBoy was just a 15-year-old when he was caught committing a robbery. He was sentenced to 6 months in a juvenile detention center, which is when he wrote and later released his debut mixtape, Life Before Fame. While this was one of his real first criminal charges, he managed to escape relatively easy with a short 6-month sentence. His second arrest would come not long after his first, in 2016. In 2016, he was arrested for attempted murder. When NBA YoungBoy was in Austin, Texas before a show, Baton Rouge law enforcement thought he fired guns into a crowd during a drive-by. He pleaded guilty in exchange for a reduced charge of aggravated assault with a firearm, which got him just 9 months in prison. The plea deal sentenced YoungBoy to 3 years of probation with a suspended 10 years prison sentence. This was a huge break for YoungBoy, as just 2 years prior, he was caught committing a robbery. Usually, the judge isn't that reasonable once a pattern of criminal behavior starts to show. But somehow, YoungBoy managed to get off with such a light sentence for such a horrible crime. His next arrest would come in 2018. This time, it was assault, weapons, and kidnapping charges. Before a concert at the Moon nightclub in Tallahassee, NBA YoungBoy was arrested for committing assault, weapons violations, and kidnapping. Hotel surveillance showed them assaulting his then-girlfriend, Jania Jackson, and restraining her. He was also caught with weapons during his arrest. He was eventually released from jail with a $75,000 bail. You would think his third arrest would play as a wake-up call for YoungBoy, that it would help him realize that he had to change his ways in order to keep this from happening again. But the fact that he always seems to escape real prison time, YoungBoy kept on being a menace. His next arrest would end up happening in 2019. In 2019, he would end up being targeted by a group of people who attempted to take him out during a drive-by shooting in Miami. YoungBoy managed to survive the attack, but his then-girlfriend was struck by a bullet. An innocent bystander was also struck and unfortunately passed away. Even though YoungBoy wasn't the aggressor, he was still arrested. While he was acquitted of all charges for the shooting, NBA YoungBoy had violated his probation by making threats on social media, which he was banned from using. Also for being around other felons, so he was sentenced to 90 days in jail and house arrest. Again, YoungBoy got off easy, something that was becoming normal for him. He was then again arrested 1 year later. In September 2020, a major drug bust led to 16 arrests, including that of NBA YoungBoy on charges of distribution and manufacturing of drugs and possession of stolen firearms. He was released shortly after his 2020 arrest when he needed to undergo further trials for conviction and sentencing, but he fled the state after his release. This led to his next arrest in 2021. In 2021, YoungBoy was driving his vehicle in LA when he noticed police officers trailing behind him. They attempted to pull him over, but YoungBoy decided to take the police on a full-on high-speed chase. When YoungBoy couldn't keep on going in his car, he ditched the vehicle and started running on foot. He was found by the LAPD with help from police dogs. There is actual footage of YoungBoy running away from the police posted on the internet, where you can see YoungBoy trying to escape the cops, but still getting caught. When they caught him, police also found him in possession of illegal firearms. He was released in October 2021 on a $1.5 million bail. By July 2022, NBA YoungBoy was found not guilty of California's federal firearm charges against him and again escaped serious prison time. Even after he ran off on the police and was caught with an illegal firearm, he was able to beat the case. All of these prior arrests, some of which were still ongoing, would lead to this final arrest, which happened last year. In April 2024, YoungBoy was again arrested while he was serving house arrest in Utah. This time, he was arrested for drug charges, identity fraud, forgery, possession of dangerous weapons, and possession of controlled substances. After the police became aware of YoungBoy running an illegal prescription pill operation, where YoungBoy impersonated a doctor in order to get prescription pills, the police raided his home and they found him with weapons and controlled substances. YoungBoy was again arrested, and this time, it really wasn't looking good for him, especially since he was caught with all this while serving his house arrest sentence and dealing with other ongoing cases. It looked like YoungBoy's luck had finally run out, and he was going to be facing serious time for his charges. Eventually, a federal judge in Utah sentenced YoungBoy to just under 2 years in prison on gun-related charges after he acknowledged having possessed weapons despite being a convicted felon. Somehow, the rapper reached an agreement that resolved his Utah state charges against him and settled 2 sets of federal charges against him, one that carries a 23-month sentence and the other 5 years of probation and a $200,000 fine.
But you know what you know what I just heard just now, bro? I just heard a whole bunch of incriminating ass shit, bruh. Alright? I just heard everything I just heard every reason why this man should not be out of jail. 100. I done heard every reason why this man should not be out. Yeah, here this man is out of jail, bro. It got to be something to it. There is no way. This nigga done went to jail every single time for some very aggressive shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, this ain't like he ain't going to jail for no petty shit. This nigga got arrested for very aggressive shit. This nigga ran off on the police with guns on him in the state of California where you're not supposed to have any weapons. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's just, yeah. It's something deeper than what we see, bro. It's clearly something else.
So even though he had a long rap sheet of similar criminal behavior going back almost 10 years, he was only sentenced to 2 years after beating some of his other cases. YoungBoy was going to be in prison until at least late 2026. That was until the President of the United States, Donald Trump, decided to pardon YoungBoy of his serious criminal charges. On May 29th, YoungBoy received a pardon by Trump and his administration. YoungBoy thanked Trump for his pardon with this statement: "I want to thank President Trump for granting me a pardon and giving me the opportunity to keep building, as a man, as a father, and as an artist." With his sentence being reduced by almost 17 months, even after all the crimes he had committed, all the arrest and past behavior, he again finesses his way out of it. Now I know some of you might be thinking this is what money does, but not even money can help a random person who isn't famous, who was arrested 7 times for guns, drugs, and weapons. YoungBoy somehow always manages to escape facing any consequences for his serious crimes. There's a reason YoungBoy always gets out and even got a pardon. It's not because of his money. YoungBoy is a tool for something seriously dark. For YoungBoy to get himself to the level he's at today, he had to become a puppet for the elite-owned record labels. The elite of this world are YoungBoy's bosses. That's how he always gets out of any trouble no matter what he does. Now ask yourself, why would they want him out though? While they obviously make more money from YoungBoy being out and making new music, they also want YoungBoy out because of what he promotes to the youth.
Yo, they need him out so he can control these crash outs. So he can tell these niggas to keep crashing out. At that, on me, this nigga's the face of crash outism. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you. That's what YoungBoy's been for a long time, bro. We didn't all see them interviews with YoungBoy like, man, I know I ain't, you know what I'm saying, doing nothing really necessarily good in terms of what I'm putting out there in the world and shit. You know, he done said that before. You know what I'm saying? So YoungBoy is absolutely 100% aware of what he's doing, okay? But also, not just YoungBoy, his bosses, all right? The elite, the people that he's currently talking about, they know that too, all right? And they need more people acting like this young man right here we finna see in this clip. They need more people acting like a crash out, okay? They need more crash outs. We need more people out here killing each other. That's exactly what they want. I'm telling you, bro. Like, that's why YoungBoy ain't locked up yet. Trust me. Trust you me. When his time is up, though, man, he better be on his best behavior, because they gonna lock that nigga up and throw away the key. I'm telling you, whenever they done with him.
The real money is made from the millions of impressionable youth who listen to him and end up following in his footsteps, as many of those who follow him end up influenced by his music and eventually end up in a private prison that is owned by the same people who own the record labels. Now, not only are they profiting from selling music, but the real money comes in when YoungBoy influences millions of fans to commit crimes and go to prison. When they end up in a private prison, these men profit as every single inmate is paid for by US tax dollars. Money that goes directly to the investors of these private prisons. The same investors who are invested in the music industry and pay YoungBoy to make music promoting criminality. YoungBoy is being used by the elite to make new prisoners. They're using him just like they used NWA in the 80s. A targeted agenda aimed at the urban city youth to promote a criminal lifestyle, all to create an entire generation of criminals whom they can lock up and profit billions off of. This is something that Ice Cube himself revealed during an interview. Ice Cube admitted himself that he and NWA were used by the elite to sell prison with their music. He straight up admits the labels directed him in making gangster music.
Who benefits and profits off our bickering in our division? You know, it's like follow the money. I don't know their names, but you follow the money, you go high enough, you start to see, you know, this is an industry. Okay, let's take rap music.
Let's take it.
Same people who own the labels own the prisons. So,
literally the same people?
Literally the same people who own the labels own private prisons. So it's really kind of suspicious, if you want to say that word, that the records that come out are really geared, push people towards that prison industry.
It didn't make you write those lyrics.
It's not about making somebody write the lyrics. It's about being there as guardrails to ensure certain songs make it through and certain songs don't. Certain flavors are exposed on the record. No, some records are made by committee, meaning record committee guys sit around and tell the artists, this is hot, say that, do this.
Right, yeah, this is what we're looking for, this, that, and the third. We're looking for this, put this in the music. I'm telling you, he not lying, bro. You know why he not lying? Because this shit is in the fucking movies, bro. Okay, we see this shit in the movies we watch, bro. They're not telling us nothing that ain't already happened or happening. I'm telling you, bro, pay attention to these movies, bro, especially when they have movies about the industry. You know what I'm saying, bro? It's a movie coming out on Netflix called Babylon. You need to take a good gander at it, bro. Okay, it's going to tell you how this movie industry really started, bro, and really, like, what's behind it. I'm telling you, bro. But it makes sense, though, right? How else are they going to get people to the prison industries? We have to lead them there somehow, right? How we going to do that? Well, we're going to start off by, one, pushing drugs to the community. We're going to push alcohol and stuff like that. Stuff to poison the people first. Then we're going to push the rap. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to make these bad influencer people, the YoungBoys, Dirks, and the Cardi B's, and the Nicki Minaj's. Like, it get deep, man. But we're going to push those kind of people onto the masses, right? And say that this is good. This is represented. This is how they're getting all the money that they have. You know what I'm saying? And like, so that leads the people, the masses, to do just that. Be crash outs and be hoes and sluts and shit like that. And that's why we have what we have today in 2025 at the very end, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, man, this nigga ain't lying, bro. He's speaking some facts.
We're going to have this guy write the lyrics. We're going to have that. So the narrative is really kind of, structured and really made into what the record company want the record to be, and what a lot of artists are frustrated with this kind of music making. A lot of people, feel like they're being controlled by the label, how they do it, telling you what songs to sing, what hooks to do, what songs, you can do your song, fine, that's an album cut. But the single is what we all say is the single. So you have the record company pushing the narrative. This to me is somewhat, some social engineering going on here to make sure those prisons stay full. Now, there's a lot of to connect to make that happen. I'm just giving you a broad example of how people at the top can manipulate what's going on with the people who are bickering and fight. I just gave you a music example.
This is what NBA YoungBoy is for the new generation. He is responsible for the crash out generation that is on the rise. I have spoken about YoungBoy's Masonic ties before on this channel, but considering the number of new subscribers, some of you might have not seen those older videos. See, YoungBoy was involved in the Freemasons since he was a teenager. Now, while in order to join a Masonic lodge, you must be at least 21, YoungBoy seems to have either been represented by someone who was a Mason or was a part of the Masonic youth program called the Masonic Demole, which is just Masonry for kids, to get them ready to become full Freemason members when they're older. The reason I know NBA YoungBoy is involved with the Freemasons is because he told us himself in one of his old music videos. NBA YoungBoy dropped his music video for his song Fact back in 2016. All the way back then, YoungBoy and his crew could be seen wearing necklaces with Freemason squaring compasses pendants. The Freemason squaring compasses is the main symbol of Masonry. It is only used by Masons, as others have no idea what it is. Throughout the video, you can see YoungBoy and his crew wearing these Masonic chains, showing their Masonic alliance. Like I said, since YoungBoy was a teenager when he filmed this video, I can only assume either his management had him wearing this, or he was already a part of the Masonic Demole. This means someone in the YoungBoy family initiated him early. This, alongside of other Masonic imagery found in YoungBoy's videos, confirms he's a Freemason. Now, when a person joins the Freemasons, they take on an oath to always look out for other Mason brothers. A lot of judges and high-powered lawyers are members of the Freemasons. This is the reason YoungBoy always finds a way out of jail or prison. He is being protected by—
You know what? That makes more sense. That makes sense, bro. Cause ain't no way this nigga been in jail for this many things, bro. And this man ain't seen no jail time. No serious jail time? 9 months ain't really much of nothing, bro. I mean, compared to several years. You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga ain't saw no jail time, bruv. Yeah, you got to be connected in some sort of way. There is no way, bro. Like, that's unheard of. Facts. I've never heard of anybody doing anything like that. I'm going to be honest. By the third attempt, nigga, I thought it was 3 strikes, you're out. That's what I thought it was with the whole little jail system. I thought it was 3 strikes and you're done. Not for that nigga though. I'm telling you, yeah, man, they play by their own rules.
By the oath he took, his Mason brothers are obligated to let him free. They want these rappers out free, pushing their gangster lifestyle onto millions of impressionable fans, pushing this destructive agenda to the kids in urban communities. That's why they pay them millions of dollars. They want these rappers to mold the youth into adopting a criminal lifestyle. If any other person not connected to Masonry commits crimes like these, they would be in prison forever. But when it comes to these Masonic puppets, they make sure they're free to guide the youth to a burning end. I know people love YoungBoy because of his realness, but how real is he if he's a puppet on the strings of the Masonic elite, doing whatever they say just to get paid? Don't let these puppets fool you. Being real is sticking around and doing the right thing to take care of your family, not acting like a gangster well after you're a millionaire and influencing kids to do the same. YoungBoy is the same person who promoted substance abuse to his young fans, acting like it was a good thing to be an addict. He did this while he was on house arrest. Don't let YoungBoy manipulate you and destroy your life, as while your life is ending, YoungBoy only gets richer and richer. While the fans love his music and idolize him so much, they fail to see that YoungBoy is falling apart from the inside. While he might be draped in designer and accessorized with diamond-studded chains, you can still see deep down he's empty and miserable. None of the money, fame, and cars were able to fill the emptiness he had. An emptiness that formed when he decided to sell out and involve himself in the wrong side of this spiritual war. See, YoungBoy knows what he got himself involved in. YoungBoy's involvement with the Order dragged him into a dark demonic world. YoungBoy hasn't tried to hide his dark affiliations at all. He mentions it in his music, his shows, and imagery in his music videos. He has openly confirmed that he is on the wrong side of the spiritual war we are all in. Just like in YoungBoy's earlier music video, where he shows his Masonic affiliations, there are also instances where YoungBoy admits he is being guided by the devil. All the way in 2017, YoungBoy posted this to his social media. He captioned his photo with this: "Pray to the devil only for certain things. You can never talk to me about knowing the S you did." All the way in 2017, YoungBoy admitted that he prayed to the devil. This was around the same time he was running around wearing those Freemason chains, which interestingly enough was just before he started showing up everywhere with Birdman. Birdman is one of the industry gatekeepers. I have proven that YoungBoy is a Freemason, and I also proved that Young Thug is one too. It's not a coincidence that both these artists were seen with Birdman right before they really blew up. Birdman is the gatekeeper they sent in to break these artists in. That's what happened to YoungBoy.
Bro, how much y'all want to bet Birdman is another Diddy, bro? I know y'all all seen that picture in that little video on the internet a while ago when he kissed Lil Wayne in the mouth. They got a whole Boondocks episode about that shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no way. No, I know for a fact this nigga be on that Diddy shit. Look at his face, bro. He like boys. This nigga like all of that, bro. He like all of it. This nigga's a freak. Ain't no way, bro.
YoungBoy got in the industry and they had him wearing Mason chains, and then he literally confesses to praying to the devil. He didn't only confess to his connection to the devil in this post, he also did it in this song as well. YoungBoy admits to misleading his fans for the devil in his song called This Is Not a Song. In the lyrics of the song, YoungBoy admits two very important things. One, he talks about his destructive influence on his fans when he raps, "I'm Rolls Royce riding, please don't tell me who said something. I know this ain't right. God, please forgive me. I misled some." YoungBoy admitted that he has misled some, referring to his music misleading his fans, putting them on a path of destruction that would lead them to a burning end. In another part of the song, YoungBoy claims that he would be meeting a burning end when he raps, "Now I gotta change. You ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm going to hell." Openly, YoungBoy admits that he will be meeting a burning end. Why else would you think YoungBoy would be stating this? He knows he sold his soul for his fame and success. In another one of YoungBoy's songs called Devil's Child, YoungBoy admits to selling his soul and being a devil's child. In the hook of the song, YoungBoy raps, "I see demons in my dreams," versatile, and he also raps, "I'm dripping blood out in public. I'm a devil child." Openly, YoungBoy is admitting to his fans that he is influenced by the devil. YoungBoy also raps in the second verse of the song. What's wrong with me, them people ask. I won't let them know. I say a prayer to the devil lying on the floor. Clutch on the stick and I'll kick in your dough. Openly, YoungBoy admits that he prays to the devil, not to God. It couldn't be more open than this. NBA YoungBoy sold his soul to the devil. He admitted out of his own mouth that he prays to the devil for guidance. This is why his music is full of evil, as he is just a tool for Lucifer. YoungBoy states that people ask what's wrong with him, but he won't let them know, stating that what's wrong with him is his pact with Lucifer. This is what NBA YoungBoy just revealed during an interview. A few days back, rapper NBA YoungBoy did an interview where he said something truly disturbing.
I don't know about days. I don't know if it's been days since this one, you feel me? But yeah, I was speaking on this one. Yeah, this the interview right here where he was on some other shit, bro. This where I personally knew, yeah, shit got deep. She was way deeper than what the fuck it's saying, for real.
With almost a dead look in his face, YoungBoy mumbles to the camera that the industry is demonic and that he's even demonic himself. And he didn't say this as a joke. You can honestly see how serious he is and how he truly feels this way.
But did he request that from you, or you just he came up with it on your own?
Which ones?
Like the
Religious?
Yeah.
As I see it, I just grab it. Man, it's very demanding. This whole industry, this whole system, shit demanding. It's very, all this shit ran off of money. All this shit do not mean nothing. It's very demanding. This whole
peep it though. He said all this shit right here is demonic. He was mentioning his nails, right? Him knowing he's a male, but he's promoting his feminine stuff by putting color paint on his nails and stuff like that. Yeah, man, like he it's like he's saying it, but he's not trying to say too much. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like he trying to let everybody know, but without letting everybody know for real. You feel me? Like he say a little bit and kind of let them do the rest, or kind of let them figure out the rest. You feel me? It's fucked up how they playing the game, but and it's fucked up that YoungBoy even know all this shit, right? But he ain't trying to let it all go because he know the moment he try to turn his back is the moment he lose everything, literally everything, bro. But that's okay. Sometimes you gotta lose everything to get back where you need to be, bro. And that's on the right side of Jesus Christ, for real. You know what I'm saying? But man, it's fucked up for this one. I ain't gonna lie.
It's very demanding. As I saw the crosses in the Jesus piece, I just grabbed it. It really don't mean nothing. And as I say, this shit demanding. I'm very demanding. Man, there's a lot of devils that's coming in and out my door. So I'm a child of God. You see my Jesus piece, you see my crosses. So as I tell you, shit very demonic and scary around here. I'm talking shit that's coming in and out my doors. What I'm trying to
confusion. He's trying to cover for what he said. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to cover up, bro. Because again, he's starting to realize he's speaking too much, bro. And if y'all notice, I'm pretty sure, again, this is an old, you know what I'm saying, interview he did. But you know, after he noticed that he was speaking too much, he decided to kind of switch the topic a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And try to speak on something else because he know he can't say too much, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's cooked.
Take myself from. So as I see the Jesus piece or the crosses, I just grab it.
Did you grow up in church?
Yeah, I sung in the choir. After I sung in the choir, I begged my grandmother for the ask the pastor, can I become an usher? They let me become the usher. So as the people walk in the church, I get to have
So you're a choir boy and an usher?
Yeah.
Did you sing solos?
I sing with the choir.
You sing with the choir? Where's one of the first songs you sang with the choir? Like, what's your favorite one that you still remember?
Yes, Jesus loves me.
Listen, sometimes you need that to get you through the day. You got to remember it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey.
Would you do a gospel album?
You never know. You're a beautiful woman. It was nice to meet you.
Thank you.
I gotta go and see that.
All right, this was good.
Yeah, when you so filled with that negative energy, bro, with that demon, with that devil, you can't speak on Jesus too much, and your soul gonna get disturbed, man. You gonna have to leave the premises. Facts. You notice the woman that the one who left, it's the motherfucker, it's him who left. You feel me? Like, bro, yeah, man, them demons can't be around the word Jesus too much. They can't be around that Jesus energy too much. You feel me? They got to get the fuck around because they know what it's about. They know when they get to talking about that, they get to thinking about, all kind of shit they done did, and I know I shouldn't be distant, and that'll get to happening again. I'm telling man, shit get deeper than what you think, man. For real.
As you heard for yourself, NBA YoungBoy was being asked about jewelry and why does he choose cross-pendant jewelry pieces, and YoungBoy responded by saying because it's all demonic. Even the jewelry is demonic, he said. Everything about the industry is demonic. Then he even admits that he himself is demonic. Now honestly, we already knew this, but I always think it's important to hear it coming out of the horse's mouth. NBA YoungBoy is deep into the music industry. He's been in the industry for years. This isn't the first time he tells us that the industry is demonic. This is the second or third time. In this old interview, he said the same thing as well.
You said that music, like in terms of getting paid, it's like the biggest thing. Only
because I learned it's a nice industry that I chose to be a part of. So like I accept that I don't really, but don't be a dominant at the same time. You gotta understand they use me as entertainment. And it becomes self-destruction too, because I ain't no entertainment. You know, you can't be spoken. Why? I ain't for that shit. It's to be continued.
Is in terms of like every time it's.
But now, not only is he saying that the music industry is demonic, he is admitting out of his own mouth that he himself is demonic. Even though he calls himself a child of God, which we all are, he admits that he's demonic, and he knows this because he's deep in the industry. This is why NBA YoungBoy is telling us the music industry is demonic and that he's demonic, because he's been in this the entire time. It's how he gets out of prison. It's how he's seen as one of the biggest artists and gets the biggest contracts. The music and the entertainment industry is completely owned by Freemasons. This is why most movies and TV shows are all pushing the same message and the same symbols. They are all being controlled by the Freemasons. The music that NBA YoungBoy was pushing over the years was designed to influence and promote the criminal lifestyle. Remember, for the longest, hip-hop was used as a weapon against the urban community. See, those behind the scenes pulling the strings, they wanted to manufacture a culture that would enslave the urban community and promote the criminal lifestyle so that it would allow them to arrest more people and also destroy the community from within. That's exactly what hip-hop did. While not all of hip-hop is bad, the hip-hop that was pushed to the mainstream has all had the same agenda, the agenda of the criminal lifestyle and promoting it onto the youth. NBA YoungBoy was 15, 16, talking about going on drills and taking people out and selling drugs and doing all these vile things. They promoted this to a young audience that was influenced to do the same exact thing when they were older, even as teenagers. If you think about it, over the years, the criminals have gotten younger and younger and younger, specifically if we pay attention to the recent generation, the drill rappers, who were 13, 14, 15, taking each other out just to go to the studio and make a record. Believe it or not, YoungBoy was used to design this culture. They used NBA YoungBoy to push this criminal lifestyle onto the youth. This is what he sold out for. This is what they gave him millions of dollars for. This is exactly what YoungBoy is doing with his recent Massa tour. YoungBoy kicked off his tour on September 2nd in Dallas. The show was a massive success, selling out almost immediately. Fans were ready to see their favorite gangster rapper perform again in over 2 years. And what a performance it was. The performance started with YoungBoy in a casket that was slowly descending from the ceiling as he began rapping, with the stage being set up to resemble a sinister-looking cemetery with a green tint. There he was, floating, looking down at his thousands of fans cheering him on. The performance had elaborate set pieces and hyped up songs that led to a high-energy reunion with the fans. People quickly began posting videos on social media, showing how much they were enjoying themselves, listening to the music, singing along, and showing off the stage. While everyone seemed to be having a blast, they all clearly failed to realize the overall dark look of it all, as YoungBoy's set design appeared like a graveyard, with tombstones all behind him. Add this with the image of him climbing out of the casket, it all gave an overall dark feeling. The entire show had this mysterious dark imagery that at some points even resembled hell. While the stage was set up like a cemetery, you can see a statue of an angel behind them. The angel was meant to represent a fallen angel. At one point, you see YoungBoy performing on stage while everything behind him begins to burn down. It wasn't hard to see that the energy was dark with this performance. Most people were seeing all of this imagery, completely unaware of what YoungBoy was trying to tell them. Believe it or not, this isn't just random imagery. There is actually a seriously sinister message behind this performance. This entire performance was an occult death and rebirth ritual, and I will break it down. When YoungBoy was arrested, that was a part of this ritual, just like Young Thug. That part of the ritual represented the death. In the occult, Prison is often seen as the darkness isolation that leads to finding enlightenment. This is how it's described. In the occult, prison represents the darkness, or the limited consciousness from which the soul seeks to escape through the process of spiritual death and rebirth, a process that is done ritualistically. It is a powerful metaphor for spiritual entrapment and the necessary self-destruction of the ego to achieve true liberation or enlightenment. The prison represents the darkness period that is connected to death. Death in the occult is celebrated because they believe darkness bursts the light. This massive performance is the final process of this death and rebirth ritual NBA YoungBoy is in the middle of, when YoungBoy is reborn as an enlightened soul. They don't even hide this either. If you search what the significance of YoungBoy's casket imagery in his performance is, they straight up tell you it was meant to represent a death and rebirth. This imagery is heavily utilized in Masonry, as they have plenty of casket symbols that represents this process of the death and rebirth ritual. The performance itself represents this moment of rebirth, as YoungBoy is seen rising out of a casket, which indicates a resurrection. His audience is watching him go through this ritual and are participating in it without their knowledge. They don't even realize their energy is being used to fuel this ritual. The reason that these types of rituals are done in large groups are to accumulate energy. If a crowd of people are there singing along and dancing, they're releasing their energy all while YoungBoy is absorbing it. This is why stages are set up the way they are. The artist is placed overlooking everyone while they absorb all of the energy the audience releases. There is something truly dark about the music industry. It is one of the most effective weapons of the devil today. This is how Satan has people worshiping him through these celebrities. The music industry is demonic and dark. This is not something that artists in the industry even try to deny anymore. This is what YoungBoy got himself involved in. That's what he traded his soul to be a part of. YoungBoy had to sell out the very community he came from to escape it. He had to promote the evil he was affected by to others so he could live the life of a star, spending years promoting nothing but evil and destruction to his very own people. This is what the devil does. He props up one puppet and uses them to destroy millions. Sadly, so many kids are misguided by YoungBoy. They want to be just like him, not knowing what that path would lead them to. We must help the youth and snap them out of the manipulation before it's too late. While they still actively follow YoungBoy, they are victims of the system. A system waiting for them to make a mistake to take their lives away. Don't follow YoungBoy. Follow God. Well, I'm gonna end this one here.
Yeah, man, for real, for real. And this crazy part is, bro, it's not just YoungBoy. It's pretty much all these rappers, man. Like, look, the two ones on the screen right now, Jay-Z, Kodak Black. Facts. They are a part of that shit, too. I don't give a fuck. They all a part of that shit, man. And they all know it, too. That's the craziest part about it. But let me know how y'all feel about this one, man. Did y'all already kind of have a feeling, or did y'all learn something today?